Magandang araw ka mag-aral. Ito ang iyong guro at gabay sa iyong pag-aaral dito sa Grade 6 Mathematics. Ihanda ang modules, lapis at papel at tayo ay mag-aaral. Our lesson for today is performing basic operations on integers. In this lesson, we are going to find out on how to perform the basic operation on integers. The most basic operation on integers are multiplication and division. It is easy to understand compared to addition and subtraction of integers. Now let us start with multiplication of integers. There are rules to follow in multiplication of integers. Let us have rule number 1. The product of two integers with the same sign is positive. Let's say a positive integer times a positive integer equals a positive integer. Or a negative integer times a negative integer equals a positive integer. Now let us have examples. Positive 8 times positive 10 equals positive 80. Negative 6 times negative 4 equals positive 24. Now let us have rule number 2 in multiplication of integers. The product of two integers with different sign is negative. A negative integer times a positive integer equals negative integer. Positive integer times negative integer equals negative integer. Now let us have examples. Negative 7 times positive 4 equals negative 28. Positive 6 times negative 9 equals negative 54. Now this time, let us study the rules in division of integers. The rule number 1, the quotient of two integers with the same sign is positive. Let's say positive integer divided by positive integer equals a positive integer. Or negative integer divided by a negative integer equals a positive integer. Now let us have examples. Positive 6 divided by positive 2 equals positive 3. Negative 8 divided by negative 4 equals positive 2. Let us have rule number 2 in division of integers. The quotient of two integers with different signs is negative. Let's say negative integer divided by a positive integer equals a negative integer. Or positive integer divided by negative integer equals negative integer. Now let us have examples. This time, let's learn rules in addition of integers. Let us have rule number 1. If the addends have the same sign, the numbers are added and the common sign is affixed to the sum. Let us have examples. Negative 8 plus negative 7. Let us add 8 and 7, which is 15, and affix the common sign, which is negative. Then we have negative 8 plus negative 7 is negative 15. Let us have positive 2 plus positive 3. Let us add 2 and 3, which is 5. Then the common sign as positive. Then we have positive 2 plus positive 3 equals positive 5. Let us have positive 9 plus positive 1. We add 9 and 1. then we have 10. Affix the common sign positive, then we have positive 10. Then we have negative 12 plus negative 3, adding 12 and 3, that is 15, and affix the common sign which is negative, then we have negative 15. So negative 12 plus negative 3 is negative 15. Now this time, let us take the second rule of addition of integers. If the addends have the different sign, the signs are disregarded and the difference between numbers are obtained. Let us have the example. Negative 8 plus positive 7. Disregarding the signs, we have 8 and 7. And taking the difference, we have 8 minus 7 equals 1. The sign of the greater number is affixed to the final answer. Since 8 is greater than 7 and the sign is negative, then we are going to affix the negative to 1. Then, the sum of negative 8 plus positive 7 is negative 1. Another example for rule number 2. Let us have negative 9 plus positive 17. Disregarding the signs, we have now 17 and 9. And taking the difference between the numbers, we have 17 minus 9 equals 8. The sign of the greater number is affixed to the final answer. Since 17 is the greater number, then we have positive as its sign. Then we have 8. Affixing the positive sign, we have positive 8. The sum of negative 9 plus positive 17 is positive 8. This time, let us take the rules in subtraction of integers. In subtraction of integers, we will use the idea of additive inverse. Subtracting an integer, therefore, is equivalent to adding its additive inverse. Let's say the subtraction sentence, 8 minus 3. Then using the additive inverse of positive 3, in addition form, we have now 8 plus negative 3 equals 5. 17 minus negative 9, using the additive inverse of negative 9, in addition form, we have now 17 plus positive 9 equals 26. Let us subtract integers. But before that, we're going to remember or recall the parts of subtraction sentence. Let's say 10 minus 8 equals 2. 10 is the minuend, the minus sign. 8 is the subtrahend, the equal sign, and the difference is 2. Now let us have example. 17 minus 5 is the subtraction sentence, wherein 17 is the minuend and 5 is the subtrahend. Then rewrite the subtraction sentence as positive 17 minus positive 5. Taking the additive inverse of positive 5, we have negative 5. Then rewriting it or adding the additive inverse, we have positive 17 plus negative 5. And applying the rules of addition of integers, we have now positive 17 plus negative 5 equals positive 12. That is, 17 minus 5 equals 12. Now let us have example number 2. Negative 23 minus 8 is the subtraction sentence. Then rewriting it, negative 23 minus positive 8. Then the additive inverse of positive 8 or the subtrahend is negative 8. Then adding the additive inverse, we have now negative 23 plus negative 8. And applying the rules of addition of integers, we have now negative 23 plus negative 8 equals negative 31. That is, negative 23 minus 8 equals negative 31. Now let us have example number 3. 28 minus negative 7, that is your subtraction sentence, wherein 28 is the minuend and negative 7 is the subtrahend. Then rewriting our sentence, we have positive 28 minus negative 7. Taking the additive inverse of the subtrahend, that is positive 7, and then adding the additive inverse, we have positive 28 plus positive 7, and applying the rules of addition of integers, we have now positive 28 plus positive 7 equals positive 35, or 28 minus negative 7 equals positive 35. Now let us have example number 4. Negative 43 minus negative 18, that is a subtraction sentence. Then negative 43 minus negative 18, that is rewriting the sentence and taking the additive inverse of the subtrahend, that is positive 18. Then adding the additive inverse, we have negative 43 plus positive 18, and applying the rules of addition of integers, we have now negative 43 plus positive 18 equals negative 25. Therefore, negative 43 minus negative 18 equals negative 25. At muli, ako ang iyong guro at gabay sa araw na ito sa iyong pag-aaral dito sa Grade 6 Mathematics na nagsasabing mag-aral ng mabuti upang umunlad ang sarili. Paalam!